Fuck.
Shit, stupid. What's good, YouTube, man? What's going on, man? We about to do a little drink and talk. I got a Red Bull right here, man. I'm gonna start doing this though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, ain't nothing to have a little drink around. You know what I'm saying? A little sip and talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't really drink. I mean, I'm open to it though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, some white girl gave me a fireball. Like, what? Uh, what was it like? July? White girl gave me a fireball. Like it was a nip though. I drunk that joint, bro. I was mad horny and just I felt different. It was a good vibe. I think this day it was like around the 4th of July, like the week before the 4th of July. It was a good time. It was a good time. It was a vibe. I had my scooter around that time. I was mobile. I was moving around. I was getting things done, which we should be back out there soon, man. We should be back on the road soon, man. Transportation is important, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. We got a good little like topic today. We got a good little topic. What's up, y'all? What's up? We got a good little topic going on today. A little drinking chat. What's good, E? What's good, Eli? How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling? My day going great, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to grab like a piece of paper. I got a Sharpie right here. And I got some loose paper right here. My day is fantastic. Do me a favor and hit that like button, though, y'all. Hit that like button. Put some hearts in the chat. Get me in the algorithm. We got a very, thank you for the likes. We got a very cool topic, bro. Y'all know I'm big on science. Thank you for the love. I love the love. Thank you for the love. Eli, I think that's you. Um, but yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about oxytocin. Oh, I'm covering the light. My bad, y'all. We're gonna be talking about oxytocin. 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 The love hormone. See, my boy pumping hearts in the chat. The love hormone, you know what I'm saying? It's funny, I just got accepted to go live on TikTok, so I'll be live over there a little bit. Yesterday, I went live twice. And when you pump hearts, you can see the number of hearts in the thing. I can't see it over here, though. But I appreciate that because that put me in the algorithm still at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Likes, hearts, subscriptions, shares, all of those things. But let's get into today's topic, man, because I got my Red Bull right here. Hopefully, I got something to drink too. You know what I'm saying? I got my little Red Bull right here. In the future, I'm gonna have more healthy drinks. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have more healthy drinks in the future. Um, but yeah. Now I'm gonna be touching this topic more like as time goes on because like I'm still learning about it, and anything you're learning in life, like you just don't know everything about basically. So like I'm gonna write down the word oxytocin, oxy slash tocin, oxytocin. am going to be back because I got to go in the shower. All right, Eli, man. Before you go, what city you checking in from though? You got a date or something? My boy about to take a shower at nine at night. What's good, viral? Y'all hear that Spanish music playing? What's good, little how you say your name? Zave? That's exactly how you say it. Um Sleepy Dev says, would you rather? Oh yeah, I've seen that before. That's whack. What's good, Dev? I said Dev. What's good, Dave? How you feeling today, man? We got a good topic. I'm a lifestyle dating coach. Y'all boys subscribe right now if y'all haven't. You know what I'm saying? All platforms, same name. Instagram, TikTok, everything, same name. Um, yeah, yo, Zave. Um, for some reason, I'm automatically imagining you're from New York. I'm automatically. I don't know why, but I'm automatically imagining that you're from New York. I don't know why. Uh, okay, Eli from Minnesota. Shout out to Minnesota, man. I have never been out there. I think I met a chick out there actually yesterday. I don't know, on TikTok. I always ask people where they from. Oh, you from Sacramento? Nah, brother, I'm from Sac. Okay, okay. Where's that, near LA? Um, and things like that. How often you go live? Why y'all want to know how often I go live? What, can y'all answer my question? Why y'all want to know how often I go live? What's good, Lily? Brandon Phillips say, do you play RuneScape? Um, RuneScape. Okay, so you could just subscribe, bro. Just subscribe. You're gonna get the notification. You feel me? You gonna catch wind to it, man. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Cause at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all both asked the same question. So I was like, bet that, bet that, bet that. Shout out everybody in here. Subscribe. There's 5 people in here. That's 5 subscribers should be, dropping in. Shout out to Lil Zave, man, because I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all for subbing up, man. Viral. Shout out to Zave. Um, Also, I'm gonna be traveling a lot. I'm gonna be traveling a whole lot. I say that every time I go live, but it's the truth. I'm about to start traveling crazy. You know what I'm saying? And let me ask y'all boys in here, man. How y'all dating life going? How's y'all dating life going? Um, I'm like New York. You feel me? NYC type vibe. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Adjacent. You know what I'm saying? East Coast shit. You know what I'm saying? But I don't got no exact location. You feel me? I'm like a nomad. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. So today's topic was about oxytocin, right? That is a. I'm gonna ask y'all, what do y'all think oxytocin is? What do y'all think oxytocin is? My brain ain't that developed. That's a hormone. Okay. What type of hormone? That's you're right. Dave, you're absolutely right. I know it's a lot of women in Sacramento too. I know y'all got the Sacramento Kings. You know, I used to love playing Tyreek. What was his name? Tyreek. Forgot his name. Point guard. He's like a tall point guard. I used to love picking the Kings just because of him. Yo, edit in the motherfucking chat. What's goody? He's like, I'm back. Sorry, my brother. I was grounded. Oh shit. Yeah, you was young. I forgot you was young. You was grounded and shit. Exit on your brain. I think. I don't know. So I'm not saying where's it located. I'm just saying what's it responsible for. Are you saying it's in your brain? Oh shoot, okay. Your birthday coming up. What you we're in September right now. So with your Libra or something like that? I'm not sure. 213 Facts say between a police officer, plumber, and a mechanic, which of the three do you feel can be trusted more? I don't know, bro. What the fuck? Are you gonna ask me again? So you really want to answer to that question? Nah, I gotta check him out. I gotta check Briss out. Is he a blood named Chris? They call him Briss. He on Spotify. I check him out. I be on Spotify, man. You like rap? Viral says you like rap. I like Tupac. Tupac. I like 50 Cent. Old music. He's still good, but I like his old music. If you're asking, do I like hip hop? The answer is, I grew up my big sister. She liked all of that stuff. So like naturally, I just caught on. And my dad my dad rapped, made beats, basically all his life. My uncle, a lot of people. When you black, you just naturally around that type of stuff. So, but like in reality, um, I just downloaded on Spotify. Whatchamacallit, what's her name? Taylor Swift shit. The reason why I did that because my boy Kodak, that's my favorite rapper. He listened to Taylor Swift. I wanted to see what the hype was about. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a lot of rappers, bro. Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on, bro. Jadakiss hard. Like the list goes on, bro. Like we can get into that if y'all want to, but it's just too many. It's too many. I think I just woke up today thinking about Nas. I'm like, yo, Nas actually the type of rapper that I don't know why this thought was on my mind. It's because when I was walking the other day, I was listening. Nas came on, but Nas the type of rapper that I don't just like to listen to, but if I'm walking and he come on the playlist, I'm a listener. I'm gonna be like, damn, this motherfucker actually got talent. Like, but I'm not gonna really like. For some reason, he's not my favorite rapper or nothing like that. But I'm gonna respect his pen, just like Jay-Z. Jay-Z not my favorite rapper, but I'm gonna respect his pen. I attract to who I attract to. Like certain rappers, they gotta give me this feeling of like homeostasis. Like when I hear it, it just gotta feel right. Same thing with YouTubers too, though. Like and everything else, there just gotta be something about you. You know what I'm saying? Um, how old are you? I'm grown, man. I'm a grown man, a man that's grown. You feel me? He said everyone in the chat sub to me and GWL. You spelling my name wrong, bro. GLW. Game like Will. And get banned. Please answer. Why you want me to tell y'all what I trust in? Ain't that a little sketchy? Facts. 213 facts. You come in here asking me, do I trust the police? Isn't that sketchy? Do you trust the police? Facts. Yeah, RIP. Go check him out for sure. So show some love. You say he RIP'd? I check him out, man. I think I screenshotted it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Make sure I do it again. There we go. Yeah, man. So if he on Spotify, then I'll definitely check him out after the live. A Viral said, when you start YouTube? It's a lot of questions, Viral. I mean, I appreciate it. I literally, before I went to Job Corps, I got back from Job Corps when I was 24. So, see, I can't say it now because y'all gonna know my age. I don't set my age before, I think, but just off general principle, I'm not even gonna do it now. But I started a while ago, a little while ago, not too far. And start is a funny word because you could say start was when I first ever got a laptop. First, I used to make beats and stuff, so like that was kind of like the reason why I had a laptop. I was outside a lot more before that time. When I got a laptop and knew how to make beats, and I already making a little bit of money, not saying I just stayed in the crib every day, but it did get like that. You got a little bit of money, you could order pizzas and shit. Y'all know how that go, and you chill and you just vibe. Where I was living at the time, wasn't the most, like, my mom always moved around, so like living circumstances kept me moving around before I went to Job Corps. So being on my laptop was something that was almost second nature. I would even watch old school like wrestling. My bad, y'all. My bad. I removed your chat, GNG. MWA. Hey, don't say that it's mean. But hell no. Sorry, bro. My audio correct. Like you like K-pop? I don't know, bro. What's K-pop? You feel me? What is that? I know what pop is. What's K-pop? You see what I'm saying? I don't really know, bro. I don't really know. I'm trying to see like what it is and who's the famous K-pop artist. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I don't think people got a genre. It's like women don't have a type. Like there has to be a person in that type that they like. Like you could be a light skinned nigga. Chicks say I don't like light skinned niggas, but it's always gonna be that one. You understand what I'm saying? Viral said, yo, I gotta go, bro. Have a good night. And you'll be big one day, bro. I appreciate that, Viral. Real shit. Just make sure you sub. I think you said you subbed already. And lock back in, come back in, man. We going, like you said, we're on our way to somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we know. So have a nice night. No means comments in chat if do ban. What you think about Michael Jackson? Is that what you asking, Zave? Mike Jack? he was talented. I fuck with Michael Jackson. Some songs he got, I just be like, damn, this shit right here is just crazy to me. I'm big also on poetry somewhat. So like everybody got that one song or two, three songs that it hit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say about that, man. Michael Jackson, he the GOAT though. He got a lot of shit that everybody could. It's songs that I don't think is all that, but the world do. Karma Yodak. My name is Hamid from Iran. What's good? Viral says same, bro. I like 90s hip hop. Yeah, me too. Early 2000s and shit like that. Uh, all right, so the video title was about oxytocin and things of that nature, man. But see, like oxytocin is a tricky hormone because oxytocin breaks down into like multiple layers. And also, I'm drinking a Red Bull right now, so like I'm a very aware. I'm scientifically aware, and I understand that we live in a cosmos or a planet or whatever the fuck it is. And a lot of people think like their life is just bad, right? And that's not true. Like, you know what I'm saying? It couldn't be further from the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like even me right now, like I could find any reason, like the way the brain works is just like a bitch. Excuse my French. It's just like a woman. It's always looking for a cynical issue that it can kind of like bitch about, whine about, or it's always seeking, even if that's not what it's doing, it's seeking balance, which is the worst thing that it could do because sometimes life is not balanced and it doesn't make sense or the situations don't make sense. You feel me? And because it don't make sense, you don't need it to make sense. That's actually the worst thing you're going to actually knee jerkingly do is try to make something that really don't need to be paid attention to, really don't need to be, yeah, and that's really what it is. It's really like 98% of things in any given day needs to be ignored because you need to focus on yourself in order to actually grow. And that's the part that's paradoxical about life. Oh, Korean pop. I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna screenshot it. So yeah. So oxytocin is a love hormone. For y'all who don't know, it's a love hormone. Um, it's the thing that when a baby is born, that chemical is there for the baby, for the family, for people. Love oxytocin is love adjacent. Um, it's also there for romance, which is why I brought it up today. Oxytocin, right? People you love, it's a feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's a chemical responsible for love. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what a lot of time is missing when a lot of guys follow dating coaches. And I'm gonna break this shit down. I'm gonna break this shit down for y'all. I'm break this shit down. Yo, edits. Wasn't you the one who said there was a girl you was trying to talk to or something? Well, how did that ever play out? What's good, Nunez? How you feeling today, bro? I remember you, bro. You're from Chicago or New York, one of the two. You're Spanish. You're 20 years old. It was a guy that was on my TikTok yesterday. He had an anime picture. He was from Chicago. He was 20 years old, and he was asking me for advice. And I was like, yo, I think I met you before. And I thought it was you. Today we're talking about oxytocin. It's not dopamine. So you got two chemicals that I want y'all to learn about when it comes to talking to women or people in general. You got dopamine, which you feel when you're bored and you get on your phone and you scroll. You say, oh shit, The Rock is back on WWF or WWE. And that signal goes to your brain and it fires off dopamine. And you're like, oh shit, this is amazing. My life is not boring anymore. Or when you see Cardi B twerking or some shit. I think there's another me out there. No, facts. That's what I told him. I said, man, listen, man, I met you before. He wanted coaching and everything. I'm like, that's crazy. But how's your situation going? I know there was something you was talking about last time with some female. Both of y'all, Edits and Nunez, there was something y'all was going through. But yeah, you got these two chemicals. These are two chemicals that I'm looking at the most right now in my life. Dopamine and oxytocin. Dopamine is like what I just said, like the excitement of something. Excitement. Dopamine is important. Dopamine is what I can imagine a woman feels when you first approach her. Like, oh, there's a new nigga approaching me. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter how ugly he is, no matter how weird, creepy, the fact that, especially if you got confidence, the fact that you're approaching her with confidence is gonna fire off that receptor no matter what. That's why I say a lot of guys think like approaching women is hard, and that they'll never understand women because you gotta first get over that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not even, it has nothing to do with the other stuff that I'm gonna talk about in this video. That's just the beginning. That's like, we're gonna make a cake today, but we only got like the cake mix, the milk. We got the ingredients, but it's not cooking. So like you can't eat it because it's not cooking. So dopamine, that's why we're not talking about that today, because dopamine is a cool thing. And I would even say like it's important, but it's just not as important as oxytocin. And we're going to talk about why oxytocin is so important. But this reminds me real quick. Corey, what do you mean? Because I didn't know. Are you being serious? You said, did you say brokenness or biokinesis? Oh, see, I was ignoring you because I thought that said brokenness. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I'm like, yo, this is a troll. I thought you was a troll. Let me see. If y'all ain't here, don't be afraid to hit the hearts, put some hearts in the chat, get me in the algorithm, get things going and flowing. Should I do a Q&A or a poll? I'm gonna do a poll. No. Q&A. Now I'm gonna do a Q&A. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Do you understand oxytocin? I'm gonna make it green. Everything got to be green all the time. Something went wrong. What the? Oh, Corey says, I am a light worker for Christ. Explain more on the other thing you were saying, though. Biokinesis. How does that work? I'm interested. I'm very interested. What's good, Tez? Q&A? You said do a Q&A? That's what I was about to do, but I was going to say, oh, my arm hurt like that, man. Let me see. Do you understand oxytocin? Something went wrong. They're not letting me do it. I don't know why they're not letting me do it, bro. If I do a poll, do you understand oxytocin? There we go. See, sometimes things happen with this technology I don't be understanding. And you just got to do what you can do at that point. That's just life, bro. That's just life. Like on all cylinders. Like, and I hate that shit sometimes, but it ain't nothing you could do, man. It ain't nothing you could do. Yeah, so she said biokinesis. Let me write that word down real quick. Everything is biology at the end of the day, beginning of the day, middle of the day. You know what I'm saying? Chat. But one thing I'm excited to talk to y'all about today is that, like, trust, right? Trust is a key element in dating dynamics. Trust. How many of y'all know how important trust is? There's 4 people in here. It's not too many, but we got a little room, and at the end of the day, we can't really complain about what we don't got. How many of y'all know how important trust is? And I'm gonna break down to y'all why trust is so important. And not only trust, but like, cause trust, like, okay, you got trust and you got trust. Like at the end of the day, the feeling of trust. You know what I'm saying? How important is it to make people feel like they can trust you, or that they do, or how important is it for them to trust you? How important is it? Okay, if I'm approaching a chick, is it more important that she trusts me, or is it more important that I have game or Rizz? I want y'all to think about that shit real quick. Because I see a lot of videos out here of guys who actually have the gift of gab or the mouthpiece or whatever you want to call it. And I can already tell that these guys are not fucking these girls. Like, it makes great content. And that's the thing about me. I've always had chicks from the beginning of time. Like, I'm not gonna make it seem like I'm the most smooth or attractive guy in the world, but women have always ran behind me. Period. Like, I could sit here and act all coy if I want. Oh no, I never had that, man. I don't know what it's like. I'd be lying. I'd be lying. It's a lot of haters and trolls that come in here too, and it's a lot of stuff that makes me question what type of world we living in. But at the end of the day, I know me. I've been living in my skin. They haven't. Like the trolls that come in here, the people that gatekeep success or whoever is in this world, they think they can tame something that they can't tame. Like confidence, like Lil Wayne said it the best. Shout out to Lil Wayne. He said, confidence is a stain you can't wipe off. I'm not saying I'm the most confident. There's been plenty guys that I met that are by far more confident than me. But also the term not knowing your own strength is also a reason why a lot of guys are not confident. It doesn't have anything to do with looks or anything. A lot of guys, they don't know the power that they hold. They don't know who they are. They don't know how to. They don't journal. They don't love themselves. They don't self-reflect. Though, in my opinion, those are where there's room for insecurities to creep in. Anytime you're not self-focused, you're sharing focus. And it's harder to talk to a chat that's not responding, just to be honest. Well, there's 5 people in here, and it's like I'm talking and there's no fucking people. It's harder to do that, but it takes more confidence. It's like being a teacher in a room with 5 people in it, and it's like it's just weird. But I'm telling you, anything you want in life, you have to push through the ugly. And that's why I'm trying to give y'all some key information on, like, yeah, when you get out here, you can approach these women, but it's the same thing principle as what I'm saying with anything else, business wise or money wise or goal wise. There's gonna be obstacles. There's gonna be weirdos. There's gonna be women that are fatherless. There's gonna be women that are broke as fuck. There's gonna be women that's weird, women that's ugly, women that's into like voodoo and shit. Like it's gonna be women that you should not even, you gonna wish you never even talked to. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not, no knock on anything if anyone is magical creatures, but I'm just saying, like, there's gonna be people that are heinous in nature. That's what I need y'all to understand too. This shit is not Cartoon Network. You know what I'm saying? This is why the average guy can't get the average woman, because he doesn't have a real gauge on nature. He doesn't have a gauge on nature. So if you're disillusioned or have a warped way of seeing the world, or how things, let's just say how things work. If you have a warped way of seeing how things work, then you're naturally going to behave in a way that does not create what you're trying to create. Does that make sense for y'all? Because it's like 5 people in here. I don't know where y'all are at. Did the chat freeze? Is there a chat freeze going on? Is there a frozen chat? Number 3, I'm going to say biology is all about energy. Biology is all about energy, chat. So biology is all about energy. What is energy? Energy breaks down into multiple dimensions. Energy could be the sound of my voice. Energy is sound, frequency. Maybe I need to turn into Einstein for real. Maybe I need to go to like the dollar store and get that big ass, because I used to work in Dollar General. Maybe I need to go in there and grab what I couldn't afford before. or I could just go on TikTok maybe. But this big ass marker and fucking board, marker and board. I already got the mic, the marker, the board. You know what I'm saying, Chad? But no, it's more haters online than there is lovers. I can't say that. But what I could say is there's times where you cross paths with more demons than angels. Like I'm telling you, even in field, even when you go out and approach women, there's going to be times that you're going to run into like interactions that are going to be unlovable. Like you're going to be like, damn, why the fuck? You know, you approach one chick, you approach chicks every day, and then there's going to be one chick that's going to tell her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend going to be like, yo, bro, find something safe to do, bro. And you're going to have to get into it with buddy a little bit. Not saying you got to be tough, but I'm just saying you got to understand that this is biology, and I'm telling you from a biological standpoint. I'm not telling you from a fairy tale dating coach. Listen, I'm a lifestyle coach first, dating coach second. It is what it is. I don't fit in with everybody else, so I'm doing it how I do it. If you don't, listen. Biology is all about energy. Energy is your voice. It's your whole biology. It's everything. It's the way you sound. It's the way you come across. It's the way even right. There's a term in NLP called pacing and leading. So like you could pace somebody and then lead them somewhere, right? So pacing could be simplified as naming things that could be sensed. Like I have on a black t-shirt right now. Right? That's a pace. I have glasses on right now. Right? I have a tan Scully on right now. All right. And then you lead. Or it could be something in my room, like I have a bike right here, flipped upside down. So if a woman walked in right now, I could start pacing and then leading. The average guy, one thing I notice about the average guy is he's scared to name things that's obvious. Like, see, the average guy who is a loser, he's going to always try to say something. The average guy that's a loser, psychologically, is fixated on saying something that he think everyone is going to enjoy. Does that make sense? I know it's only two people in here, but I'm trying to make some sense. I gotta make sense. I'm not even trying to make sense. I gotta make sense. The shit that I'm saying, it has to make sense. Because this shit is some real game at the end of the day. Think about it. I'm not trying to teach pickup lines. I'm not trying to teach like gimmicks, and I'm not trying to teach like manipulation or like staging some type of like cool thing to say. No. Every woman that I've been with that I feel like was kind of crazy about me, like I didn't have to use a pickup line. I didn't have to have Rizz. I didn't have to do that. And I always kind of question that, like, where is this? Like Rizz is cool, and I understand it's charisma, but charisma is also a tricky term too. Like, what is charisma? How can you define charisma? Once again, it's the way you make somebody feel. It's charm. It's the people I knew who had charisma, they had personality. They had charm. And once again, last but not least, it's energy. It's energy. Why would I say charm is energy? Charm is energy. Charisma is energy. The average person loses faith in their own energy. They lose faith in their own energy, meaning like they don't even think that their energy is like good energy. Does that make sense? We could look at that on multi dimensions. We could look at that from the food that they put in their body, the Red Bull that they drink. We could look at it from that standpoint, like putting food in your body, that fucks up your energy. Or we could look at it from the fact of the matter, they don't have any game. So energy is not all food, right? So food is one piece of the pie. Like when you eat better food, you're going to feel better. You're going to be more charming because you're going to give off better energy. But then you have, it doesn't matter what you ate, the way you come across is also in the way you push your energy outwards, if that makes sense. Like you could eat anything, you could smoke cigarettes, you could do whatever to dirty up your energy. But when you see a chick you like I've learned to do that. Like no matter what I eat, no matter how I feel, I could see a chick and still come across the right way. Yeah, so that's what game is. Game is your ability to, even when you're wrong, come across the right way. So, okay, I've ate some shit that fucked up my vibe. Okay, cool. That's a part of life. You know, we're born in poverty. At the end of the day, you know, you're not perfect, right? To say the least, but your ability to come across a certain type of way is what makes you charming. It's all energy. It's all energy and it's all direction. So like sometimes the problem is bad energy, but most of the time it's direction. So if you have direction, if you give yourself direction, life tends to act smoother and cooperate more better. This is going to lead me into something that I was talking about to myself earlier, which is the vetting process. If you look at the title of this video, I called it you can't vet what you can't catch. So what do I mean by you can't vet what you can't catch? This is going to be kind of simple to explain, to be honest. The average guy, conversation is fucking below average. And including myself for 25 years. 25 years of bullshit conversation, no skill at all. Because I'm a light-skinned, scrawny nigga that women thought was a pretty boy and they would just like me for no reason. So I didn't have to say anything. So therefore, I had no vetting process. Therefore, oxytocin was 9 times out of 10 it was there. Might have even been more dopamine, who knows, but women like who they like. They like who they like, right? But you have, I like him and I love him, right? So you always want to, as a man especially, you want to sacrifice the like for the love. Like you'd rather someone love you than like you, or you know, someone liking me is like fucking shit under my shoe. It's like, oh shit, I got shit under my shoe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, someone like you is like, okay, that's like, sometimes it's worse. It's bad because it's like, what goes up must come down, you know, at some point. You know, but someone respect or love you, that could easily bypass all of the other shit. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about vetting real quick because we're going to tie it all back to oxytocin and why oxytocin is so important. You can't vet what you can't catch. So if women think that you're weird, creepy, or something's off or something's wrong with you, then that equals distrust, and distrust, if we go spin this all the way back to the top, number one was key element in dating dynamics is trust. Where there's no trust, love becomes like a fucking non-existent thing. When trust leaves, so does love. But I say all this to say, how can you vet somebody who has zero trust and zero love for you? Let's do the math. I'm just trying to do some simple math because I know we haven't had thousands of people in the chat yet or whatever. It's around this time of night. I don't get that many people coming here. It's like 9:00. You would think more people come in around this time, but I mean it's Friday. A lot of people at work. A lot of people are getting ready to go to parties and shit. But I'm trying to keep oxytocin in the conversation while we think about vetting, right? So you have to bridge the gap between when you first meet the woman to vetting, but you can't vet. See, the average guy is going to fall out somewhere in there because you can't vet. You have to build, you have to have oxytocin in the mix. And oxytocin is funny. I'm gonna do another video on oxytocin because I got to study it a little bit more, but it's a chemical that we have in us as men. We have it in us. And you can activate that chemical many different ways. You can activate it by what you eat. You can activate it by being in social circles and having like social interactions. This is another reason why I feel like also a lot of women I will always be social before I got the women. So like even at jobs, schools, I need to delete this fucking app, man. This news break shit, man. It should be popping up and shit. So yeah, social dynamics is one big way that women decide who they're gonna date. Even like I said, with the cold approach, like going out in public and just doing the whole fisherman thing and stuff like that, you know, you put your little rod out there and stuff, like women gonna bite on that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they're gonna follow you on Instagram, they're gonna look at your Instagram, and then they're gonna still do that same thing that they would have did if you would have met them in an establishment or at school. So it's kind of the same. It's different, but it's the same. So let's go back to oxytocin. Oxytocin is something you could, oxytocin is the chemical that you want to lean on. If you're going to lean on any chemical, oxytocin, dopamine, yeah, you want to like spike motherfuckers' dopamine systems and shit. You should be able to do that if you got a little bit of game or charisma. See, that's where the Rizz shit come in. See, I'm not anti-Rizz. I just put that out there. Like that's where the teasing, the flirting, the banter, the jokes, the comedy. You want to study another thing. Y'all guys should be studying comedians. Comedians help with your gambits. Comedians help with your banter. Comedians help with your improv. Comedians help with your witticism. Comedians help with like you have to think on the spot. You know what I'm saying? You have to think in real time. You have to be able to do that with women and just social situations in general, because that's a form of survival. Social life is a part of survival. It's like eating food to me in my mind. It's like drinking water. You use the bathroom, you drink, you eat, sleep, and then you need to work on your social health. Because it's levels to it. It's no reason why people should be walking around at age 30 with social anxiety. Like, what is it use? What is it the useful of that shit? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you can't go on a female's live right now, or you can't call a female and get on the phone with her and just talk about nothing, then you failed as a man, because that's nothing. That's nothing. To get on the phone and talk to a chick is nothing. But it becomes this like place that you dare not to go when you don't talk to enough women. And you don't, and then you lose faith in the things we're talking about today. Confidence. You don't have a plan. You don't have a backbone. Those two things go hand in hand. Plan, backbone. No plan and backbone, failure. No backbone and plan, failure. You have to have a plan and a backbone in order for it to make sense. So most like guys like me, I had a plan. I mean, I had a backbone and no plan. You know what I'm saying? Or there's a lot of guys in many different ways. But at the end of the day, you as a man, especially even like cutting out the date and stuff, just lifestyle design, you need to have a plan and a backbone. But there's many cases of guys out here who don't have either. You're either a follower, you have no backbone, you're a follower. Like a lot of the trolls that come here, or you may have a little backbone, whatever, genetically passed down, for some random reason. Your dad was a guy that was somewhat honorable in life. You got a little spine, but you have no game, you have no plan, you have no aim, you have no direction. And so what do? You become a nuisance to a degree because you have no aim, you have no purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people in the red pill say, get on your purpose, do this, do that. Because many men realized throughout time that, hey, it wasn't until I had a purpose that I learned, I started to grow. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I had a purpose. So it's even having a purpose builds what? Trust. Trust is synonymous with oxytocin. Why you think women fall in love with guys that have a mission in life? It's all connected. It's all interconnected. And oxytocin is our best friend. Because when I talk to women, I'm not trying to be like, see, to me, if I'm trying to be liked, then I'm dead in the wrong. I'm wrong. Why do I want to be liked by this chick? Right? I want to be liked because as a human being, that's like what we want to do, I guess. But it's like the guy that want to be liked is always going to fail because he's not prioritizing simple, basic things like also the culture of twerking and shaking your ass and all this porn and stuff. What does that do? What does that do? Porn misleads the interaction. Because when I meet a chick in Target or wherever I meet her, first thing I'm doing, I'm looking at that ass. Not even gonna hold you. I'm looking directly at that ass. And if she's standing towards me, I'm looking at them hips. Watch this. Ass, hips, face. That's the three. That's the deadly three. Right there. Now, let me tell you how this creates a negative, it creates a negative interaction for the female. It creates a negative interaction for the female. Why is it that when I go into Target and I see a chick and I think like, damn, she thick as shit, or damn, look at her face, she fine as shit, or damn, look at them hips. Why does that create a negative interaction for that female? Well, that creates a negative interaction for that female because women are biologically hardwired to what's the word? Inspect if a man's they're biologically hardwired to inspect your intentions, like your reasoning for conversing. They're biologically hardwired to inspect a man's reasoning for conversing with them. You see what I'm saying? So porn, it rigs your mind to have unlimited access to seeing naked bodies, which you have not worked to see. You have not put in any effort to get anywhere near these naked bodies. You have not. It's pixels on the screen. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? And you're seeing some of the most beautiful chicks on the earth, even on TikTok or any platform. You're seeing the baddest chicks, because the baddest chicks, just because you bad don't mean you're not like willing to like have sex online for free, or I mean not for free, like have sex online for money, like strip clubs, places like that. Like I met a chick. I remember I went one time to a strip club when I was younger once. I'm not a strip club guy, but I went once. And I met this chick that was a stripper, and her name was Rihanna. Was it Riri or Rihanna? I think it was Riri. And I'm telling you, she was the baddest bitch I seen in there. But these chicks in these places, like, come on now, like they with that shit. And what I'm saying is like, guys want the hot chick. Guys don't want the chick that's reading the book. Guys don't want the lawyer. Guys don't want, especially if she like a 6. So that's a double whammy. Like, guys don't want that. And I'm here to tell y'all that because women know. That's why when they hit their little glow up phase, they be like, man, fuck these niggas. I'm not fucking with these niggas because they really don't like me like that. They just think I look good now, or I got some ass now, or I hit Planet Fitness for 5 months to a year, and now here they come, wanting a piece of this ass. So how does, when I walk to any store or go in any place, why is it that her face, her hips, and her ass is something that I should ignore automatically. And how can a man even do that? I'm a man. I'm hardwired to fail. I'm hardwired to go directly up to the chick that first caught my eye. If it's 3 chicks in the exit line at Target, I'm hardwired to go up to all 3 of them, to be honest. But the one that is closest to me, I'm going to go up to her. But remember, this is why it gets tricky. The women are biologically hardwired to inspect if a man's reasoning for talking to her. What's her reasoning? What's his reasoning for talking to her? Right? What the fuck is your reason for talking to her? You see what I'm saying? And a lot of guys need this game right here. I'm dropping this video. This is a great video. Shout out to the 3 people that's in here. I don't know who's in here, but shout out to y'all. This is important because until you undo this shit that I'm talking about here, you will not escalate shit nowhere. You will not grow. You will not get better with women because your whole brain has been infested with pixels of fine shit that is too easy on camera, and they're getting paid for it, so they got a motivation to do it. Let's not skip over the fact that they're getting paid for that. See, that's what I'm saying. They're not even having sex because they're attracted to the guy. They're having sex because they want the money at the end of the video. And not to mention that they're doing all of those things performatively, doing all of those things. See, porn is actually a great thing to get into. I'm not gonna lie, because you're busting a nut, you're smashing chicks that you might not even be nowhere near if you were just regular day life. And you get to work on your pipe game. Let's be real. I know this is not an X-rated video, but I mean, this isn't for kids. Kids should not be over here. But last but not least, you're getting rich. You're getting rich. That's the most status symbol thing you're gonna do in life anyway, right? So you're getting rich and you're getting a fast bag. You don't gotta trap. You don't gotta do. You're risking your body, but these porn stars, I can only imagine you go get checkups and stuff like usually, right? But I'm just saying, the average person loves sex. That's what I'm basically trying to get at. The average person, like, there's really not a human being that don't love sex. Like, there's not really, like, if we had to really look at that, like, honestly, fair and square, like, there's no human that does not want to have sex. So if every woman wants to get rammed and every man wants to do the ramming, then, like I said, that boils down to one thing. What is your intentions for going up to her? What's your reason? That's all I'm asking. What's your reason? Because the less oxytocin in the interactions, the less sex you're going to have as a man. I'm telling y'all boys this right now. I'm not even playing. I'm a scientist at heart. This is something that I'm passionate about, as y'all can probably hear my voice. I love science. And there's no better way to bring it home than to talk about sex. I'm not even gonna lie. But I'm just saying, like, even fuck sex. I'm talking just conversation-wise, like, because I already told y'all, right? There's many ways to develop oxytocin, the chemicals, even in your body. You know what I'm saying? There's foods like fish. I think that's one of them. I'm not sure. I think avocados. There's foods that give you more oxytocin as a man. That is a love hormone. A love hormone. If you're talking to women and you don't know what to say, then naturally, even if your intentions are pure, if you don't know what to say, that's going to also impact all of this. It's going to impact her oxytocin, because like for example, like if I walk up to you and I don't know what to say, you're going to lose all hope in everything. Like you're going to be like, this nigga don't even know what to say. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what she's gonna think. Like, he don't even know what to say. He looks lost. He looks stupid. Like, that's a turn off in 99.9% of situations with women. That's gonna always be a turn off. Which is why I brought up today's topic about oxytocin, because we have oxytocin and they have oxytocin. The love hormone should be what you're aiming for by the questions you ask. The questions you ask her alone is like I said, like there's not even no reason to talk to a woman if you're not going to use this road. If you're going to stay on the road that you've been on all your life, then there's no point. But if you're going to use the road of oxytocin, thank you for the likes. If you're going to use the road of oxytocin, she's going to be attracted to you. I don't care what nobody, I see it all the time in my own personal life. If I take the road that I've taken all my life, yeah, I'm gonna get some ass. I'm not gonna lie. But that's because women also like guys that are cold, like meaning like if you don't talk a lot, that could also be attractive. So you're gonna get ass regardless. But if not everybody, but what I'm saying is this is everybody. If you know what to ask to snap the oxytocin pill in half in her body, then she's going to light up because she's interested in that. She's interested in you for even knowing how to bring about that feeling. You understand what I'm saying? And not only is she attracted to you, her biology is. So it's not even a choice. It's not even a fucking choice. Biologically, she's going to be attracted to you. Your interactions are going to be much stronger with women. Now, think about it. If you went to Target today and you approached 15 women and say 10 women gave you the time of day, you don't have to get them on the phone yet. Just talk to them as soon as you, how you doing? My name is Will. What's your name? I'm Jennifer. Oh, nice to meet you, Jennifer. First of all, they like hearing their own name back to them. But that's just small things. But what I'm saying is, in any given interaction, there's things you could do to bring about oxytocin. That's what I'm trying to say. And NLP talks about it, which is why I'm interested in NLP, because it talks about a lot of that stuff. And a lot of these tactics could seem manipulative, whatever. But there's no reason to talk to a woman and then just sit there and say stupid shit or whatever the case. Now, do I think you should try to sleep with every chick you meet? No, but remember one thing I said was, let's look at the word vetting real quick. The question is, when do you know, at what point do you know that you should try to sleep with? Let's look at this sentence very, very, very sharply, keenly. The word should try to sleep with. This is a very important term that I'm saying right now. Should try to sleep with. Do y'all think that is stupid or smart to think that way. Like if I was to say, yo, chat, my name's Will, and there's a chick named Sierra right now that I'm trying to sleep with. That I'm trying. Keyword is try. Trying to sleep with. It frames me as the hunter, frames her as some form of a victim or prey. Let's look at that real quick. When you frame an interaction with a woman as A or B, is that healthy? To frame an interaction as A or B? Is it healthy? I'm just asking because at the end of the day, there's many interactions I get in with chicks, and I'm making it like A or B, like you either down or you not type energy. And I've seen different results come out of that. I've seen me make it A or B, and women choose up off of me making it A or B. I've seen me make it A or B, and women flake out. I've seen both. So I think that more so depends on the woman and all of her lifestyle, her age, maybe her surroundings. Just her whole life in general. I think depending on whether a chick is gonna say, "Oh, okay, well," because I feel like a lot of guys frame it that way, like, take it or leave it attitude. She either with it or she not, and I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I think that's actually a very it could be very attractive and charming, like to go again with the thing, because again, in a way, she could view that as like, oh, he love himself. You know what I'm saying? She could view you moving fast and saying, okay, you're not fucking with me, all right, I'm out. She could see that as high value. Because it's a good chance in her life she's came across other high value individuals who would not allow a person to be on a fence in their life. But I still want to tie all this back because I feel like a lot of guys make a lot of videos and they don't really hit on certain things, and I want to hit on these certain things. So like I said, she could view that as high value. The average woman is going to view that as high value, like, okay, cool, like, because there's so many guys that's going to stick around, quote unquote, stick around. That shit is so bad. Stick around. I think sticking around, quote unquote, is the worst thing. Like when I look at the last 6 months of my life, it always feels good when I unfollow a chick or I unfriend a chick on whatever media it is, and she's been playing games, like, or even if she's not playing games but she's not interested, it always feels good to release or relinquish that. Because even though it ain't like I'm stalking her Instagram or watching her or no shit, but every time I get on that app, like her fucking picture or there'll be something to remind you, like, yo, this chick right here, you should try to still complete something or hit her up or see what she on or whatever. And that little pinch of attention is deadly because you need to be focused on other things that could like become like something better, to say the least. So that sticking around type of psychology, I don't even know where that comes from, but that's definitely a scarcity thing. I think even being raised by women, to be honest, like that's like a feminine thing. I don't think that's really masculine. Sticking around. What are you sticking around for? Because generally speaking, women play games or they play hard to get sometimes, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like not really, not really. But I have seen moments. I wouldn't say moments where women play games, but I mean every man gets put through tests to a degree. Like um, if you just say you're in a school and you flirt with a chick at random, she might just act like, oh, okay, well, because you're it's fresh in her mind, like, oh shit, I didn't know he liked me, so now I'm gonna kind of like have some fun with it. Like I'm gonna kind of enjoy or savor. Because I think as men, we tend to believe that every woman gets every guy all of the time, but that's far from the fucking truth. Like, um, they could get some dick, but and then even then, it's only from certain guys. Like, it's not from every guy. You know what I'm saying? It's from certain guys, and that's why it's important for you to tell women no. For what I just said, you should tell women no based on the principle that you don't want to be perceived as easy, and also there's other guys that would tell her yes. That just even knowing that makes you better than other guys. See, a offer that's off the table is more attractive than an offer that's on the table. Like if I offer you $1,000, you're gonna be like, damn, that's $1,000. There's gonna be this little voice in the back of your head that be like, there's gonna be a little voice in the back of your head like, what if he offered me $1,000,000 though? He probably got more than that. There's gonna always be this little greedy little bug inside of you that wants more. So an offer that's off the table is 10 times more attractive than an offer that's on the table. The outfit on the mannequin looks better than the outfits that's right there laid out on the table. The girl with a boyfriend is 10 times more sexually attractive than the girl that's single because you can't get it. You can't get it. I'm talking to myself right now. This is pathetic, but you can't get it. And what you can't get, you still want. Because it's like a fire that haven't been put out. And you still want it. You can't get it. So how can I tie this in? How can you make women feel like they're quote unquote getting you without having you? It goes back to the fucking point in the beginning. But first of all, let's acknowledge the fact that no one ever has anybody in life. That's also an illusion. No one has anybody. That doesn't make any logical sense. No one has me. No one has you. No one has anything. Everything is a part of something else all the time. And so every interaction is just that. Every time I see a new chick, it's literally just an interaction. If we break the word interaction down, I love this right now. It's an interaction. An interaction. An interaction is just an interaction. Interaction. Or we could frame that as we interaction. Right? So before I run into a chick, I'm in exit action. There's no action. When I run into a chick, I'm going to interaction. Like a movie, action. Going to enter action. You can use enter or enter action. But however we frame it, doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the woman has to also enter, ENTR, action. Where there's no entering action, where I'm talking to her and she's not talking to me, the conversation is dead. It takes two to tangle. And it takes one to exit. It takes two to tangle, but it takes one to exit. So a woman is always going to exit an interaction that she feels has no use, no value. No use or value. That's just the bottom line. And I hate it because it's like so superficial. But like even like YouTubers, right? When you're popping, everyone wants to come and see what's so popular about this Reggie guy. What's so popular about this Kai Cenat guy? What's so popular about this and that? People are parasites. I'm not talking shit to everybody, but I'm just being honest. I'm the same way probably. Now, not really. I've always been a real one. Like, I'll watch somebody that doesn't got shit. Like Kai Cenat, before he was popping, I was watching him. I would watch, when I first got a laptop, I would watch gurus on YouTube and then before they was popular, like I would watch people. If I see you, but it's still a value type of thing. Like if I see you, I'm gonna read your energy. Your energy gotta bring me some form of value. Like as soon as I see you, I'm reading like the vibe, the energy that's coming off you. I'm reading how you come across, you know what I'm saying? Like your whole energy. Like I'm reading like how calm you are. I'm reading like how like just everything. It's kind of easy for me to like figure out if this person's gonna offer me value or not. Just off the energy alone, the groundedness, all of that type of stuff. And that's some of the same stuff I'm saying with y'all when it comes to dating women. Is that you have to understand that it's not always about what you say. That's like the last thing. You could smash a chick based off what you say, but you can't keep a chick based off what you say, because as soon as you say it, you're going to have to say some either new shit or say some next shit to keep the bitch there, because everything on planet Earth is in motion. Even if you think you perceive yourself as sitting still, your heart is pumping. Everything is motion. Like there's nothing that's still. Right? But the thing that's still is nothing. But that's why all of this dating shit is nothing. And you should not take it serious, because women come and go. Life comes. It's nothing that don't come and go. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. It ain't nothing that comes that doesn't go. And I think a lot of people can't accept that. And like just in general, on a scientific biology level, it's like a ghost, right? There would be no such thing as a ghost if that entity didn't want to stay on this plane. So like once you die, we all know that you're supposed to shift somewhere else. But in reality, that motherfucker want to stay on the plane, because that memory in the biology or whatever it is, scientifically speaking, wants to stay in the mix, which is actually beautiful. I remember when I was younger, I had a dream that I had I was in like this graveyard running around and shit. I think it's because I watched that Will Smith episode. But it was a beautiful dream because it took the fear out of death for me as a young kid, just seeing that, because I'm like, this is actually kind of thorough, like, you know what I'm saying? which we could talk about another time because there's probably layers of that. That I think if you want to study life, you got to study death. If you want to study death, you got to study life. You know what I'm saying? And me being a scientist, I'm studying biology right now as we speak. Everything I'm saying. So I tell you, since I was young, when I was in sixth grade, I looked at a recycling bin and I seen the sign that went around like that, and it just clicked in my mind. I said, "Yo, reincarnation has to be real. We're coming back, and when we come back, we're not going to have the same fucking exact faculties to know that we was here, but we're going to have deja vu's for sure. For facts, we're gonna have deja vu's for facts. And but anyway, man, like that's the thing, man, that I'm trying to say in this video. Let me see. Because it's so much. Um, it's so much. Uh, let's put it like this too. If a woman doesn't trust you, there's ways to get her to. There's ways to build trust. What a lot of people don't know is that when trust is built, oxytocin comes into play. When trust is built, like you could probably think, whoever's watching, I see one person, you could probably think back to your childhood when you was on a seesaw with some friend or something, and y'all was going up and down on a seesaw, and like it was maybe a nice day, maybe who knows, but just the breeze was there, and just that activity in general felt so good, just to be on just like, why is this simple seesaw that goes up and down, why is it so much fun if it's just a seesaw going up and down? And really, that's to me, in my opinion, that's a reminder of how oxytocin is. It's like, it's very simple, but it means so fucking much. You know what I'm saying? Chat, it's so simple, but it means so fucking much. And I think science is beautiful in how it could be that things could be very simple, like having a kid, right? Having a baby, right? You may spend your whole life looking for happiness, and then you smash some chick and she spits out some fucking little twerp, and you're like, oh my God, like I thought life was this, but it's really that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you fucking crazy fucking, you're crazy to someone that's 10 years older than you, because the person 10 years older than you is looking at you like, man, you don't know what the fuck you doing with life. If I go back 10 years, I would know exactly what to do. I would have pinpoint accuracy at this game called life. You see what I'm saying? So building trust equals built-in oxytocin. Once you build trust with somebody, oxytocin is what it is that makes them feel a bond or a love or whatever it is, compassion, whatever this thing is that makes people say, man, this person is exciting, man. Because you would think it's dopamine, right? Because we hear the word exciting, you think of dopamine, but it's really just a feeling. It's a vibe. And in fact, I think oxytocin is responsible for that dreamlike state that you feel when you're around somebody that you love. There's like a dream-like feeling associated with oxytocin. Right? So let's look at the word high value real quick, and then look at the word oxytocin. So I'm gonna circle oxytocin, I'm gonna circle high value. Why did I do that? Because I just told someone earlier my favorite rapper is Tupac. I mean, I don't listen to him every day, but he's on my YouTube like shorts. So if I'm like watching YouTube shorts or reels, for some reason Pac could pop up and I'll just listen to his lyrics. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker just, I don't know, because Tupac, it's hard to name what it is that's making you feel where he coming from so much. But I've boiled down the science of Tupac to a couple things. It's his ability to um when he talks, he sounds like he believes what the fuck he's saying. That's very simple, but it's very important. When you sound sure of what you're saying, like how I'm talking right now, when you sound sure of slowing down, right? When Pac say his word to you, like, and memories of memories, and when he's doing that, who's gonna stretch the words that far if they didn't believe it? You know what I'm saying? So he's basically understands the thing about Pac. He was, in my opinion, like a scientist too. He understood human nature and his cadences and his ability to use his voice as a weapon to reach people. It was very unique. Unique is important too when it comes to oxytocin, because being unique is also a factor of trust, right? I really believe that being unique, being solid, trustworthy, right? Dependable. So we're reliable. That's a big one. A lot of guys are not reliable, right? That's what women think. A lot of guys are not reliable. You know what I'm saying? Um, High value and oxytocin. When you can spike oxytocin in people, you become valuable. At least in their nervous system. A person could say anything out their mouth, but their nervous system is going to say something otherwise. When I was growing up, I would notice a lot of the time with women is that they'll be saying no, but their body and their biology would be saying yes. No, not right now. I'm not really trying to do that right now. But like they're really like doing things. Like they'll like put their ass on you, but they're also saying like, no, I don't really want to do it right now. Like I'm not in the mood. But they're doing things to still get the same outcome, which is hilarious. But it's life. Life is hilarious. Life is funny. Um, and that's the thing about women. They have a different way of interacting with men, which is why I also want y'all to understand that that's why I told y'all mouthpiece is just a piece. Mouthpiece is just a piece. It's something that can alter the situation for the better or worse. It's like a dial, right? You got different types of dials, right? It's just like when I used to make beats and it's like a limiter. I forgot the other word. You had a limiter and something else, but you got dials and you could dial up and dial down how many words you're saying to a woman. Right. So if you notice a woman ain't giving you no energy, it's your choice. Do you want to dial it up and say more words, or do you want to dial it down and say less words? But that's why I say mouthpiece is just a piece, because it don't matter what you say, it's everything else. It's everything, it's all the other things, like just all the little nuanced things. So your mouthpiece could alter certain things if you know how to say what you're trying to say. Also, body language can matter. It's so many different variables, but um, it's not. Um, I think I fucked up right there. I ain't gonna lie, because it is kind of what you say. You know what I'm saying? What you ask and what you say. And that understanding that, like, for one thing about a woman that y'all gotta understand is they value, if you're the type of man and you know what to say, they value that. But then, like I said, simultaneously, it's also the what, how, and what are you saying, and how are you saying it, as a combination. And not only that, do you know what to say next? Because so many guys, like I said, walk up to a chick, how you doing? I'm Will. I'm Willis. And she, oh, I'm Janice. How you doing? Okay, you moved your pawn, she moved her pawn, and then you don't got no knight. You don't got no knight. You're not gonna move your knight. You're not gonna move your bishop. You're not gonna move your anything to initiate further interaction with that woman. You're not gonna do anything to enhance the conversation. See, the opener is just a word, because you're so much a stranger at that point. It's just a word. So an introduction would be nice. How you doing? I'm Will. What's your name? Oh, I'm Jennifer. Okay, nice to meet you. And then you may say a statement about, especially a situational or observational. But here's the thing: most guys are going to naturally fail. I'll tell you why. Because they're going to be undecided. Like Chris Brown said, I'm undecided. Yeah, you're going to be undecided because you're not going to know. I might go live again on this later. You're not going to know whether to go indirect or direct. Indirect or direct? Which one do I choose? Do I go direct? Do I go indirect? We're going to talk about that tonight. And then we're going to tie it to question: which one equals oxytocin? What y'all don't realize about oxytocin, which I tried to say earlier, is that oxytocin is related to trust. The better question between should you go direct or indirect would always be, which one feels more natural to you? We're gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna talk about that tonight, man. I'm gonna see y'all later, man. There's 0 people in here, but I'm gonna see y'all later. We're gonna talk about that tonight. Tonight's live. We're gonna talk about that tonight. What's up, One View? We're gonna talk about that tonight, man. I'm gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it tonight, man. A lot of people don't know. Because like I said, if we're talking about oxytocin, which is oxytocin has to be injected in each phase of every interaction. You don't want oxytocin to be elsewhere, ever. You never want oxytocin to be elsewhere. You want to garner oxytocin. You want to illuminate oxytocin inside of that woman every day, every week, every month, every time you talk, oxytocin. And it starts with you. It starts with you, chat. It starts with you. It starts with how you feel about yourself. That's why one of the things I wrote down is parasympathetic. The way you breathe. One of the things I wrote down is your vocality. I could tell you everything I just wrote down. Trust is tied to energy, vocality, demeanor, breathing, parasympathetic. I ain't even finished the list, but that's a couple of the things. If trust leaks out, then oxytocin goes with the trust. So that's very important for guys to know. So if a woman is rejecting you, she doesn't trust you. It's not because you're ugly. It's not because there's nothing besides that. She's not buying into your program because your program lacks oxytocin in the first place. Did y'all tie that all together? Because oxytocin is in man and oxytocin is in woman. But if this is why women attract the guys that have a social circle, because if you're in a social circle, you look more happy, or you are emanating. It's scientifically proven that when you're having good social dynamic, like your life is more social, that your oxytocin is going to be spiked as a man. So a woman's going to see that. She'll be like, they look like they love each other. I want to get some of that. Let me go in there because they look like lovable people. Right? Think about that. We don't, as men, we have a hard time putting our eyeballs inside of women's heads because it doesn't make any sense. That's the furthest place we want to be away from. But the reason for that, I don't know. But guys, the more you can see what she sees, the more you can understand how to be what she wants. And most guys don't even want to do that because they think like, man, like I hear women say, like, I don't talk to women and they say this stupid shit. You'll be like, yo, what you like in a guy? And I ain't never say this. I think I said this a couple times in my past, but I don't ever say this nowadays. But I don't hear women say this. Like, this got real popular for women to say that, oh, I'm not going to tell you what I want in a guy because then you're going to try to be it. And it's like, bitch, oh, my bad, YouTube. But yeah, I meant that. Like, why do you care if that guy tries to become what you like? If you're not going to date him, why does it matter? See, I just struck gold with that. You can't listen to what women say. You got to look at what they do, and you got to read between their lines. I don't want to sleep with you, so I'm not going to tell you how to be someone I want to sleep with. But if you told her, damn, what's up, Jackie? And you talking to her and you're like, man, that chick over there, she got that ass on her. You're not gonna gatekeep just because you don't want to sleep with Jackie. You're not gonna be like, see, the problem is most guys are sleep with anybody. So women, I give them that. You know what I'm saying? So women are gatekeep though. Like, oh, I don't want to tell you that I like guys with big muscles because you're my skinny, scrawny friend that I don't want to sleep with. So if you get big muscles, then you think you're gonna get me. How egotistical is that though? Because like, if who said I want you? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, that's kind of how women operate. They gatekeep, and I'm not mad at women for that because that's a real envious feminine thing to do, right? Women are competitive. So we gotta, as men, this is why men shouldn't be nowhere around women after age 7 because they can't help but to do certain things that don't even make any logical sense because they're not logical creatures. Um, I'm not gonna say men don't ever hate on each other, but men in the same race usually don't. Like, especially a healthy race, like they don't really do that. So gatekeeping is a feminine thing a lot of the time. So, but like I'm saying, like uh, at the end of the day, most men know what most women want. Most men just don't got the energy or the time or the effort or the resources to go become what women want. And the same thing with money. Is money is always out here circulating and going through fingertips of everybody. But if you want some money, you gotta really go try to get it. It's just that simple. And the same thing with women. Now I always tell you I go approach 15 women a day, and I say for that same reason. Even if I sit down for one whole day, I'm gonna feel it. Cause there's gonna be some chick I'm gonna write that's gonna not write me back or gonna do something to trigger a emotion. And I'll be like, damn, if I would have just went outside, I would have had some new one because it's always going to be an uphill battle until you get on the hill. That's life. It's going to be up. If I go sign up for Amazon right now, I'm going to start making a check like everybody else who worked there. But I'm not going to be comparable to the niggas that been there all year who got a couple thousand in their bank account because they could miss a whole couple months and still be have more money than me because they've been stacking their money. That's why I say, um, what you call it? The fuck was I just saying? Not only to mention that, women don't know everything they like. They know it when they see it. So when I say, should a man go indirect or direct with women? I say the average guy is going to fall in the middle, which is going to make him look confused. He don't know whether to go direct or indirect. I broke this down like last month, and it's funny because I forgot it and I'm bringing it up right now. I called it pivot to direct, PTD, pivot to direct. Every 3 sentences mention something to make it man to woman. But here's the thing: is that indirect or direct? Is it indirect or direct if I pivot to direct? On a percentage scale, that may be more. Guys who are direct are going to say that's indirect. Guys who are indirect are going to be like, oh, that's a good tactic, whatever. Right? So every 3 sentences, if I make it man to woman, so that means we're talking about some random shit and then randomly I throw in a little flirt, I throw in a little tease. That's what most guys do anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's funny how that slipped my mind. I have not thought about that in like a week or two. Pivot to direct, PTD. Because it's more important that you have social, and I go back to saying this again. It's funny when I say that, it reminds me of this. It's more important to have social, like friends or potential friends that you're meeting in life than to fuck this next chick that you see. It to me is more important to do that. To have people that fuck with you, the woman that you guys are pursuing, the women or woman that y'all guys are pursuing, is it doesn't make sense to pursue. It makes sense to befriend at least 80% of people you talk to outside. What's a true friend? We could talk about that. That'll be another live video. Because a lot of people don't have that either. So, and that's man and woman. Call it a social circle game. What's a true friend? A true friend is many different things. We're going to talk about that though, because it's very important. This is extremely important. Extremely important. Extremely. And we're going to talk about that because that's important. Like I said, because women is really not really like, I think a lot of guys are fixated on women and they don't understand that women ain't shit. Besides another, yeah, they're good at what they're good at, but what like at the end of the day, they're not the thing that you need to be after in life. Like life is way bigger than just that. You know what I'm saying? And I think like a lot of guys get hooked or caught like on that, and it's like women are dopamine spikers. Like they're dopamine, like porn. You know what I'm saying? Dopamine. The part of the brain that lights up. Yeah, all of that shit is real. Even though like, people could say it's red pill, but it's real shit. Like the part of your brain that's associated with a new notification on your phone or a lump sum of money, or whatever the case. When you go on a Target, you see that fat ass, you're damn, hold on, I'm going to go over and talk to her. You know what I'm saying? It's the same fucking thing. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with approaching women. It's just that you got to do everything not only in moderation, but you got to think about what you're doing before you do it. I'm not telling you how to stop doing it. I'm not telling you how to start doing it. I'm saying think about it. And then especially if all you want to do is fuck, because let's think about this shit for a second, right? It's nothing wrong with sex, but it's something wrong with not getting to know the chick underneath the sex. It's something really, really, really idiotic about doing that. That at the age that I am now, it just doesn't feel as proper as it did when I was like 24. Even though I still could meet a stranger and it could still go down, but I'm just saying, like, as far as me being the age I am now, it's more important that I really, because like I said, my conversation skills never was even really like that. So like a lot of time, I wouldn't even spend a lot of time on the phone. It'd just go straight to rabbit action. You know what I'm saying? Bunny action. And that's cool, but I mean, if you're anything like me and you really want to have a vetting process, and B, if you want to have women in your life for real, you gotta understand oxytocin, the love hormone, because you can't, in my opinion, you can't really vet somebody who don't love you. How can you vet somebody where there's no love? There's maybe some, when they look at you, they say, that's an attractive person that I would sleep with. But because everyone has a roster nowadays and women are vetting men also, guess what happens? The part of their brain that when they was younger, they would be like, oh my God, I think I like him a lot. It does, like, it's more like being in a business office with papers, and it's like, okay, he's cute, next man. he's cute too. Next man, he's not that attractive, but I could sleep with him. Next man, this guy's ugly, but he looked like, he might have some qualities. Next man, uh, no, he not my type. Next man. It's like a woman in an office with papers skimming through men. So even the attractive ones, right? You have to stand out. You have to have something about you that's there has to be a real connection. I'm not saying you have to stand out because that sounds like you got to do a lot of shit that I'm not telling you how to do. I'm just saying that you have to be yourself and also pack a punch. As far as the things you bring up, the things you talk about, like I stand by the fact that every woman is not gonna like you, love you, or even go out with you in the first place. But if there's a chance, the chance is to build a reputable, strong bond that she can feel. See, the average guy is not doing that. The average guy is genuinely, just like I said with that woman with the papers, next woman up, next woman up. He's not even thinking about building any type of connection at all. And even if he think about that, building a connection, he's thinking about it in a way where, like I said, he's not looking at science. He's just looking at like, okay, I want to build a connection because women like rapport. Women want rapport, but that's true. But they don't. It's not like they just want rapport. They want to feel connected. Like, so rapport could be built. Like I said, it could be, okay, you're cute and you're talking to me, you're texting me, but you ain't got no game. So okay, so you building rapport, but you skipping all the other shit. So like you're talking about books. Say the topic is about books and we're talking about books and what book have you read? What book have I read? Okay. Not only are you a good looking guy, but now it feels crazier because we're talking about something and my pussy getting dry. So now I'm even more like, I don't really know about this nigga. Now, if you look good and you know how to talk, not just like about the book, because the conversation could be about anything: soda, books, water, pillows, marshmallows, vegetarianism. It could be about anything, but that guy knows what to say given any topic. It's not about the topic, it's about how he make me feel through the topics. If we're talking about vegetarianism, you might ask a question that's very, very simple, like what did you eat today, or like what, or something simple. Something so simple, a little considerate, maybe even. But once she gives you feedback, you know what to look at and what the feedback is and what to say next to deepen the oxytocin, to bring the oxytocin on in. You know what to say. To make her say, I really feel seen, I really feel respected, I really feel loved right now. I really feel like there's somebody who wants me. And you know what's gonna happen to her mind? She's gonna be like, none of my friends can't say that. Because I mean, guys are fuck women, but that's all they do. They don't have no game. That's what I'm trying to say. So shout out to my boy Anik. I haven't seen him in a while, but I remember he said, I think he said something like, the pussy is mine or something like that. Something similar like that. Like, yeah, the pussy needs to be yours. It doesn't need to be like a one-time hit. I mean, unless you want it to be that, but the pussy needs to be yours. She needs to look at her friends and be like, okay, like, y'all better stay away from this nigga because this is mine. Like, women don't get jealous. Well, they get jealous over any fucking thing, but I'm saying, like, you're not going to be as much as a pillar in her life just because you hit it once, and then like because if you hit it once and she breaks away from you, then that's a fail. If you hit it once and you break away from her, then who gives a fuck? Men do that all the time, right? That's the stigma behind being a man in the first place. But she's gonna get jealous over probably the guy who left her if her friend do that. But the guy that's making her feel seen, oh no, she going to war over that nigga. I'm not gonna lie. She gonna blow up the whole another country over that shit. And that's for men to know about, like, right? Real men that want to really create a family and have deeper things. Cause I mean, anybody can make someone feel oxytocin by accident, but you want to deepen that. You want to bring real you first of all, and this is why I talked about vetting earlier, because how oxytocin ties into vetting. Like, everyone talk about vetting system, vetting this, vetting that, and then they say they got a roster and whatever. Like your program starts with you, right? If I say I have a GL Dub program, and the woman got to make it through the program, and she's on my program, or however I word it. Program means procedure. I have a procedure how I go about things in life. So first of all, you have a program for your life. For a woman to even see you operating in your life and want to be a part of the program. You see what I'm saying? And that's really why a lot of guys are running behind women, because they don't really have a program. And if they have even a pinch of it and they're trying to start one up similar to a business, like they're trying to start a program, but these women are not going to just buy into a program. You know what I'm saying? Some will, most won't. Couple will, most won't. They have to see an established guy that's doing shit. The average woman. When I see women and I see what type of guy that they go for, a lot of the times they go for established men, like a man that's like very like secure. That's what it seems like is the common thread. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even about looks at that point. I mean, yeah, a little bit, but it's really about the security aspect. You know what I'm saying? That's literally, I think, like the top quality a guy got have or give. Security. But again, what is your program? What is your procedure? It's another video that that's 3 videos. I'm gonna make sure I do all 3 of these videos. What is your program? AKA procedure. I like the word procedure because it sounds more like militant or more direct. When you say program, it sounds like some fucking food stamps or some shit, like an EBT program or some shit. But a fucking procedure is something's a fucking action that you proceed. I proceed to give you what you need. Like, what is it that you're about? See what I'm saying? What is it that you're about? That's why I say I feel super proud when I tell a woman, hey, what's your favorite fruit? Oh, that's what I'm gonna take on our picnic date. Da 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 da. And this is stuff that naturally comes up inside of me to say. And so even if I don't get the chick out on a date, she knows, okay, he's eating healthily. That's the type of guy he is. She could fall off right then and there. Because like I said, I appreciate her for falling off, because I don't want to sleep with a whopper that eat whoppers. So I'm good. And that's good. You know? So it doesn't even matter. Incompatibility is there. So that's good. Now, I'm sure there's some vegetarian foods. I'm sure there's some vegetarian foods that I could find that kind of fit into her what she do. Like some Indian places or some. There's a Chinese place around here that I think is vegetarian. That's actually a good date. That's another thing I want to ask. Fuck. Question. Would y'all take a woman to grab Chinese food for a first date? I actually think I just struck gold and put vegan. Because it's a vegan Chinese spot. Because I was trying to, I was looking at Chinese food like a couple of days ago, and there's this place on the road over that's like vegetarian Chinese food, and I'm like, okay, cool, I see it, but I wanted regular Chinese food, like how the one that I grew up on and shit. I don't know what to get from the vegan Chinese food place because I never been there. Obviously, lo mein is something that is vegan, certain things, but they got that in the regular Chinese place. But one thing I notice about women, and this is why I even brought that up, is you gotta also, when it comes to oxytocin, is a feel good hormone, like dopamine, also like these hormones. Sometimes it's not about the fact that you asking a chick on a date. Like say for instance, like that's why I knew like I telling a chick let's go on a picnic and I'll bring the apples. That's not gonna really okay, like 80% of women are gonna be like, okay, cool, that's cute because it's a picnic. Like, women love romantic. They're gonna drip metaphorically for that. Like they're gonna basically they're gonna cream over that type of shit. Like, damn, okay, like this motherfucker wanna take me on a picnic. Okay, I'm down. But then when they go home, lay down, chill, think about it. I don't know if I really want to go on that picnic with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? There's only a few and women that are mature and confident enough to really want to do that. But like there's a bulk of women that I also feel like if you say like, yo, you want to go grab Chinese food, like I think 80% of women will go do that. You see what I'm saying? I think 80% of women will go do that. And then when y'all get together, you be like, okay, like it's a vegetarian Chinese place. You don't even gotta tell her it's vegan at first, but at the end of the day, she gonna be geeking over the fact that she about to eat some real food. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably affordable. That's my whole point for bringing it up too, because I'm constantly scanning for places that are affordable. Affordable, but and then on top of that, to give y'all a little bit more game. If you go into a Chinese vegetarian place, you want to look at the menu. First of all, go yourself one time. Go for yourself one time and get and look at the menu and take the menu home because you don't want to go broke for nobody. Because what does going broke do? It resets the whole matrix. It puts you back at the bottom of the totem pole. If you thought you were trying to become the next Drake or the next this or next that, trust me, going broke puts you back under the system. Saying no, no, you sexy, maybe nah. I thank God she didn't go out on a date with me because I probably would have blew all my money. Those dodging those interactions will allow you to make more money and invest your money into more money. And when you start doing those type of things, then you start realizing like, oh, women just naturally come with that territory anyway. So all the women that you would have spent the money on that would have probably left you anyway are gonna just flake off anyway. So it's like money does play a role in my opinion. If because it's not just money, it's the what comes with the money. It's the fact that you were the type of guy that could even get money in the first place. It's not even about the money. It's just the principle of like, oh, this motherfucker look powerful. He's powerful with the money. Um, so money does matter, as much as people try to act like it don't. But yeah, man, if I'm gonna eat at a Chinese place, it's gonna be vegetarian, especially on a date. Like, see, if I'm by myself and I really want some chicken wings and pork fried rice, I'm doing it. Period. Maybe not pork fried rice, maybe shrimp fried rice, but I just think that's a level up for a female over ice cream or over like the the my initial stuff like smoothies, ice cream, and shit like that. Because those things, I think in the back of a woman's mind, I can only imagine if I was a woman, uh, they naturally think like, damn, is he ever gonna really just spend real money on me, or is it just like that? Because even though they're not supposed to be worried about your money, it's still like I would cringe if I was a woman at that. Like, damn, nigga, you don't got no money. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I respect the fact that you're not making it about money at the same time. But it's gonna also make me wonder, like, why is this nigga every other guy that asks me on a date, 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, because you know what it is? It's not even that. If I'm a female, I'm gonna think this. When I get off work, if I got a job, when I get off work or wherever, when I'm done doing whatever I gotta do as a woman, there's a laundry list of guys that will fuck me. That's already written in stone. But who I distribute it to is dependent on a variable of things. Now, this guy is asking for some of my time to chill with him, right? Which, in my opinion, already, again, it kind of puts you in a weird position, but you're asking for some of her time. That's what you're doing. And then when you do that, she's already probably perceiving you somewhere near low value or if not low value, less value than her because you're asking me the question. You get what I'm saying? You're asking me the question. Even though traditionally guys have been taught that you have to approach the woman, whatever, but you're asking me the question. And like I said, me growing up, women has already always come to me and show me what they trying to do as far as like make. There's a lot of bold women out here. It's just guys are not around them. But yeah, women are actually extra bold now that I'm thinking about it. And my memory's coming back. Women are very bold. Now, to name what it is that they're going through or what the dynamics are that's making them act like that, I can't tell you exactly right now. But when they see something they want, there's no breaks. They go for what they want. You know, but I say all that to say, if I was a woman and if guy A offered me to go get apples under a tree for a picnic, I'm not gonna perceive it as weird, but I'm gonna be like, okay, this motherfucker is on some other shit. But a guy that just, even if the guy smoke weed all day or whatever, if he has a little vehicle, like, and then he says, let's go grab Chinese food. I might hop in that whip with that nigga. You see what I'm saying? I'm keeping it so real right now with y'all because that's what I'm just saying, man. I think that chick gonna do that 8 out of 10 times. But that's not me throwing away my, picnic. It's not me throwing away my first 3 date thing. But this is the fourth one I'm adding, which is vegetarian Chinese food. I believe as a man, your dates have to just be things you would do anyway, or the things you got on the plan to do anyway. Like I'm definitely planning on doing that anyway. All these Korean foods and all these places out here. I plan on doing that shit anyway, especially vegetarian food. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't eat tofu, but there's a lot of vegetarian like noodles and shit. Like I like all that type of shit. And in fact, I don't mind a little bit of protein every once in a while. Like so, it's a lot of places out here that I just don't ever stop at. I don't ever go to, um, and that's because I was broke for a long time, and still don't have hardly any money to be honest. But the thing about it is, if I wanted to take a chick to get, I don't know how much it'd be. I'm just for some reason my mind is naturally fast tracking $5, $5, but I'm sure it'd be more than that. $8, $8. As long as it ain't over, it probably if $20 is the max. You know what I'm saying? $20 is the max that I'm willing to go. Um, but even then, it's just only because I want to go anyway. So she wouldn't even be able to benefit if I wasn't doing it in the first place. If I wasn't doing it for me in the first place, like going to go. There's other places too that's good for dates. Like there's a place um there's a lot of places, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. So many, it's too many. Actually, it's too many places that's good for dating, and there's so many date ideas that are free. There's so many things out here to do that um let's just say that oxytocin chemical can be released in many different ways. And so can the dopamine one. Long as we got oxytocin in this hand, dopamine in this hand, we could always carry out a good relationship. A lot of guys, I think they jeopardize those two things because they're so busy. It's one of those natural born consequences of not knowing what you're doing. You know, if I don't got that in this hand and that in this hand, then it's like I'm empty and I'm sitting here trying to chase something instead of me just make a experience, create an experience. She just fall into the frame of the experience. Even a gambit, right? When I would talk all the time about gambits. Women love gambits. What's a gambit? It's like a statement or a question that's framed in a way where a woman naturally feels like it's a game. So if you were like I said, I was on TikTok one day and this chick was talking about how it was Thanksgiving. She about to go to her mom's house, this, and that, and the third. And I asked her, I said, are you more of a this type of girl or that type of girl? And if something had something to do with like canned, are you more like a canned product, like food, or more of like the I forgot how I framed it, but when you give a woman that multi-choice, almost like this, like a fucking poll, are you more this type of woman, that type of woman? It hits the part of their emotions that makes them feel like they're a part of something. So when you talk to a woman in that way and it makes them feel like they're a part of something, they're gonna see you as different. And in a crowd of guys that's trying to talk to them flat, like, hey, how's your day going? How you doing today, Jessica? You know, it's like these guys are like, it's not hitting. She's not feeling it. It's no connection. And then when you be like, are you what you doing, girl? Or what you doing today? Or you just see, I'll hop in a girl TikTok. I wouldn't say none of that. I'll just let her talk, or I'll listen to what she's saying to somebody else. Because 9 times out of 10, she got online because she wants some fucking attention. And then 9 times out of 10, she's talking to some loser that's never gonna fuck. So I'll just take from what she's saying already, like, oh, or I'll look at what she's doing. Like, it'll be a lot of girls on TikTok. There was one chick that was getting ready to hit the gym, so she was making her smoothie and shit like that. So I'll come up with a gambit that's connected to the smoothie, or I'll come up with a gambit that's connected to just something environmentally. And I'll tell you why I think that that's powerful, because when you make your conversation with a woman, and when you stem your questions from more I mean, it could be anything. When you gambiting, it could be about her looks. It could be about her being light skinned. It could be about her having big lips. It could be about her just. It could be about anything. It could be just be about good looks. the fact that you made it a gambit instead of making it a compliment is what's going to hit her hard. If you say, oh, sometimes just telling a chick, like I got in a chick TikTok, I think yesterday, and I told her, I said, something about her lips. I said, your lips OD, LOL. I don't think I said LOL. I said, yo, your lips OD. And she was like, oh my God, I always got that about my lips all my life. And she was like, if I had a quarter for every time someone told me I had big lips, I'll have whatever. So she started basically feeling herself going into that state of like, someone admires me, someone wants to fuck me, someone likes me. And it was just the fact that I'm calling out the obvious. But it's not what you do, it's how you do it or the energy behind it. And if it's sincere. See, I genuinely came in there and then I told her again, I said, I said, I said, I forgot what my follow up was with that, but it was again something about her lips again. It was like, well, I think I said something like, why they so big or something. I forgot what I said, but it followed up with the first thing I said, and then it kind of like enhanced it because then I noticed she started talking about her period. After that, she was like a woman not going to even talk about nothing associated with her punani if she don't want the guy's minds to go in that direction, if that makes sense. It's like, oh my God, I'm on my period right now, this, that, and the third. Women are freaky. It just take a certain type of guy to tap into that side of them. And when you tap into it, you have to maintain being in that side of her. Like women, what makes women not turned on is your inability to get into that side of her, metaphorically speaking, by the stuff you bring up and talk about. You not knowing how easy women are turns women off. And you not keeping it sexual turns women off. So once you make it like, oh, you got some big ass lips, I ain't gonna lie. Like once you say something that could be perceived as he wants to fuck me, and then you have to maintain that same frame the whole time. So that's why after she said something again, you see she started talking about it, expanding on it. Oh my God, guys always say I got big lips. Da, da, da. Yeah, why they so big? LOL. You know what I'm saying? Pushing that same knife in that same area because she already likes it. Women love attention and women love sex. But when you make it feel like, oh, you've never been there before and you don't know what to say next, and oh, well, then I think you may be like all these other guys that's just fans. So now I'm about to ignore the fuck out of you. Because every woman dreams of that frame of, they have a frame of mind of a guy that comes in that's sincerely trying to like see them as a piece of meat. You know what I'm saying? But that's subconsciously. It's not consciously. If you ask them consciously, then they're gonna say, hell no, I don't want that shit. What time is it? All right, man. I'm about to get off real quick and I'm gonna get back on. So shout out to whoever's been in here the whole time. Shout out to you. Hit that like button. I'm gonna see y'all later, man. Much love, man. Hopefully I got some game out of this shit, man. I said a lot about oxytocin and all type of shit. See y'all though.